So the first thing I'd recommend doing is figuring out which omen type is best for you. Either the immersive style, which is the default mode that splatters blood everywhere outside of the cog whenever damage is taken in, or simple mode, which still lets you know the direction you're getting shot from and is a lot less bloody around one's screen. In reality, Gnasher use is shamed upon currently due to the dev's love of the Lancer, so just Lancer the enemy and tag them for your friends so they can help you outnumber them and get a crossfire going for you. Head-on Gnasher versus Lancer is a no-go. The right type of weight from the index has to be at the ready on the LT. Each controller has its sweet spot for input activation, so full depresses are necessary. Pillar battles! Pillar on right means either wall bounce to the left and engage, up A or back A on the pillar, or bot walk forward. Barriers are bait for wall bouncers. Shooting in their wall bounce path is predictable, just watch out for the wall bounce cancels. Big thing for me is cutting down thinking time for my opponent to reduce his projected probabilities and really just bait him toward me through bluff maneuvers, sometimes forcing the first shot out of them to move in for the kill. Pillar on right, three choices again, that time going for that wall bounce left and engage. Safest way to avoid Gnasher rushes in enclosed space is to buy time, preventing them from getting into the one-shot zone by increasing that safe distance from the baddie. Shooting perpendicular to them with side parries and knowing their weak point is their whole left side of their body should help you guide strategies of approach. Sub-cover items around the map are thin enough that a rear roadie run upon edge impact with a Gnasher shot will wrap the shot around the cover. Games like Ghost Recon allow us to switch the camera view when aimed in. Gears will require a cover item in front of us to be able to attain that cover item perk, which resets upon reloading, and will require re-upping that cover item perk to safely send rounds down range. By default, engaging for the right is our best bet, and we can actually get through the insane campaign by playing the smart way. Works on the multiplayer, ladies and gents, don't get me wrong, but only on elevated areas that really give you that invisible feeling. Coming up again here are three choices given to me because of the enemy and pillar object on my right. Wall bounce left engage it is, and my rule of thumb is a 45-degree angle approach, but the angles can be cut down to 0 degrees and that's when it becomes a side bounce. This man was smart enough to wall bounce cancel me but failed to keep his distance. Relaying information by tagging is a must to win. The time it takes to switch out to a weapon is critical that leaves us all vulnerable. Wall bounce canceling works for bluffing and maintaining safe distances for Gnasher. Wall bounces can be leaked for aesthetic reasons, but also helps me invite the hidden guys behind cover to come out so I can at least confirm their positions. Crack wall bouncers must be shot down with a rifle or pistol. Play smarter, not harder. Up A's and back A's won't work if one's not on the farthest left or right of the edge of the cover. Timing of the RT must be done inches before touching the cover item. Ambushing. Ambushing can be done by selecting spread out key positions on the map and cover as many of those points for full map control, using the Lancer to cross for each other once positions are secure. Ambushing helps reduce the threat level quickly. Side dashing after firing reduces one's hit zone, forces opponent's shot direction, while reducing distance from the enemy using the milliseconds of time we have while the Gnasher reloads its next round. This reload process of the Gnasher is very visible and can be used as visual confirmation to one's vulnerable selves. Remember that roadie run after touching the cover? This one's on the left side and it helped to bluff the enemy into cutting down his magazine further. Check that one out. Bright colored weapon skins, my gents and ladies, will highly contrast against dark colored maps. Yeah, they may look cool, but they don't help in ambushes as much as the dark colored ones. Double teaming duels can be done even without a mic. I've tried it myself with my buddy Little Bean. Simply watch each other's movements and try not to get in the way of each other's Gnasher shots, but at the same time be close enough with a quick buddy pickup. No need a roadie run inward for the shot on enemies when double teaming, because far shots work. And I personally do not recommend hard aims on the barrier battles. Always assume someone's watching you when picking up the goodies, and fake Gnasher shooting sometimes open up that window of opportunity. The up A is a predictable move that telegraphs and is therefore safer, not necessary if one's target is already in that one-shot chunk range zone. Same example here, simply shoot at the dude's path where you telegraph who's going. No need for wall bounce. If there's no place to wall bounce to, just lead your enemy to a place where you're comfortable in engaging in battle. Typically it's away from the friendlies to keep it 1v1. Go for your shot after your opponent has fired to avoid a counter shot from happening and having him or her absorb all the pellets as possible. Letting go of that roadie run too late and not selecting the wall ahead of time before you tap for the wall bounce will lead to rolling, not while bouncing. Wall bounce wasn't necessary there because a roll was probable. Hard aims adds a few more pellets than the blind fire, so just keep the body moving closer to a cover item and expect crossfire to support from either the left or right in case your buddies lost their battles on the side of the map. There are areas where one can avoid crossfire support and still engage safely in a 1v1. Keep in mind that the time and vulnerability of weapon switch shots, so buying distance becomes key. Just as passing by potential blind spots, any closer to the cover item makes it be closer to taking the first shot from someone. The back A doesn't require full wall impact on the wall, but the up A maneuver will, and should end up in either running forward or running to the rear. Cover item was thin enough like earlier. Using objects as shield and running to the left side of targets raises win probabilities, and canceling out of passive moves is the way to bait enemies into chunk range. Giving one shoulder to their enemy will also reduce their number of pellets one takes in and invoke their enemy into wanting to shoot ahead of the direction that one's character is facing. Canceling out of aggressive moves such as shooting is also a good bluff to fight enemy vulnerability by forcing the shot out of them. And force the animation out to play the part and follow through. Watch again. Tighten up the circle of splashbangs and follow through with a rush Hadouken. Blind spots, they're everywhere. One single step in the wrong direction, too far from the inner cover, can blow one's ambush assault. Here we see it again. I exposed my left side to be able to see my blind spot, but should have just wall bounced to the left and engaged like earlier. All I got right now, my dudes. See you later.